Hello, beautiful human. I'm Zach. That's Dan.
Yo.
And we welcome to the studio Lizzy McAlpine.
Woo!
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Of course.
This is a big deal.
Yeah.
And I've met you out in the world
Yes,
before.
multiple times, I
What?
think.
Yeah, and that's fucked up because
Yeah,
to be honest, the truth is I'm assuming Finn was around, like Phineas was around at one of these.
Probably.
I would assume.
Yeah.
I listened to your song with him all the time. Have since it was released.
Uh-huh.
It's really fucking great.
Thank you.
I've listened to so much of your music. So has Dan.
I appreciate that.
You are exceptional.
Thank you.
You're really fucking gifted.
Thank you.
Keep complimenting her.
Yeah, keep it coming.
It's really you should know that because I don't know, I've been waiting and maybe people are going to find this fucked up, but I've been waiting to have a guest on the show that has music that really just, I don't know, ignites something within me, but also makes me re-examine my own, honestly, my own current experiences and
Yeah.
really challenges me to understand it and see it from a new lens. And you're doing that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't know if that was an intended consequence of crafting art that is, I'm assuming, true mostly to you, but maybe to somebody. It's coming from a real place, or is it an imaginary place?
No, it's never imaginary. I can never write about things that don't actually happen to me. It's all just my deepest, darkest thoughts and feelings. It's basically my journal. That's how I process emotions, is writing a song about it.
So where do you go, and how soon after experiencing something that sparks all these emotions do you need to sit down and write?
It depends. Sometimes it takes a while to actually process what has happened and be able to form the words I need to be able to write the song about it. But other times it happens and I just sit down and the song just comes out. So it really depends on what the experience that I'm writing about is.
Are you always alone?
Usually I find that I write my best songs when I'm alone because I don't feel judged or self-conscious about my writing. When I co-write with people, a lot of times I'm oh, they're gonna think that this idea is really bad and horrible, and they're gonna think that I'm a bad writer, and I don't know. I get so in my head when I write with other people that I find that I can just be my most true self when I'm alone. So that's usually how I write.
So will you finish a song by yourself, or at what point will you share the song with somebody?
I usually finish songs really fast, so I'll write a song and then I'll send it to people to listen to. But if I'm
not produced.
No. It's literally just a voice memo at first, and then I bring it to a producer, and then this is kind of what I want when I'm hearing what I want it to sound like, and then I never write in the studio with producers or anything. I always bring the song to them first.
Has it been the same process since the very beginning?
Yes. Yeah.
Have people tried to get you to defer from that at all?
No, I don't think so. I think people are pretty, I mean, when I tell them that that's my process, some people are surprised by it. But it's just my normal. I don't have any context for anything different because I've always just written the songs and then brought them to people. And not the other way around. So no, I mean, it works for me, so I don't see any point in changing it at this point.
Why would you? But I do find it interesting because at some point, I think there's certain artists that feel if they get a song to a certain point, then they get sessions with all these fancy producers and they get access to writers. But I do feel in the last few years we're very much in a more deeply, I don't know. I feel a lot of music that's coming out is rooted in individuals as opposed to groups of people getting together and brainstorming.
Yeah.
But I do think that it touches producers along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get I'm assuming you can have a song go to one producer and then you can send it to even another producer before it's done.
Yeah. It's really just I'm just searching for, honestly, that hasn't been how I've done it. My past 2 albums I did with the same person. So I was
from
working
top
with
to bottom?
one person, the whole album. The second album was 2 people, but it was consistently the same people working on all the songs. And for the record that I'm working on right now, I'm switching it up completely. I'm basically speed dating producers at this point. I'm taking songs to people, and then I'm just searching for the right sound, and I'm just gonna go until I find it.
So hold on. I mean, do you not feel like we found the sound? I mean, something's working here. 5 seconds flat is doing something.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that I don't know. I think that that's not necessarily what I actually sound like as an artist. I think that my first album was very much in the like folk singer-songwriter vein. And with 5 seconds flat, I wanted to go like a complete 180, like do something completely different. I didn't want to be like pigeonholed into that genre, and I didn't want people to think that that was the only kind of music that I could make, and I was just feeling really tired of that music, and so I wanted to do something completely different. So that was really 5 seconds flat was me trying to be different than the first album. And I think it worked, and I think it was who I was at the time that I was making that album. But now I don't think that that is what I sound like. And the next record is definitely not going to sound like 5 seconds flat.
What are you carrying with you, though, from 5 seconds flat that you may apply moving forward?
That's a good question. I don't know. I tend to it's hard because every album that I make I feel like is a different era of my life, like personally. And I was a completely different person when I made 5 seconds flat than I am now. So it's
In what ways?
I just feel like I mean, personally, I've just like done a lot of growing since it came out a year ago, and we'd been working on it for like basically a year before that. So it's been like 2 years. And I feel like personally I've just done a lot of growth in those 2 years, and also musically my tastes have changed, my inspirations have changed. I've listened to different things, and now I'm like starting to build a bigger picture of like what I want to sound like as an artist. Yeah, I don't know. I think that I'm just different now.
Is it a picture you've always seen, or is it a picture that you're painting in real time?
It's definitely a real time thing. I'm always actively trying to like to see. I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely. Gosh, it's hard. It's definitely a real time. Like I'm actively trying to figure out what I sound like. It's not like I don't have like a picture in my head, at least at this point, for like long term what I want to sound like overall as an artist in my entire career. Like I'm really just focusing on next album. I just go album to album.
Are the sonics what are attached to your changing reality? But do the lyrics? I mean, obviously the lyrics are changing, but like
right.
there's still a level of honesty.
Yeah, I mean the way that I write songs doesn't change.
It's the production around it.
It's the production around it and the way that I present those songs.
When you were making 5 seconds flat, did you know while you were making it, like, this may not be my sound moving forward?
No, I don't think I think that far into the future. I think I kind of was just making it because it felt good to make at the time, and I was like, this is really cool, and I really love these songs. And inevitably, after the songs come out, I'm like, okay, now I'm tired of this. I want to move on to something new. But I think it was definitely true to who I was at the time. I don't think I will ever make inauthentic music to who I am. If something doesn't feel authentic in the moment, like I'm not gonna put it out.
So how is speed dating? Sorry, my voice is gross today. Life, talking all day, all fucking the time. Speed dating producers.
Yeah.
What is the correlation between your current reality and wanting to shop around, for lack of a better phrase?
Yeah, it's definitely hard because I've had all of these songs for the next record written for a while at this point. I'm constantly writing. I'm literally writing for my 4th album right now, like the one after this one. I just write all the damn time. Like,
is that so? Are you like every day?
Not every day. Recently, it's slowed down a little bit.
Do you get worried when that happens?
No, I always go through phases of like writing a lot and then not writing, and I just have to wait for the inspiration to come. I can't force it. If I force it, it will be bad. So
life will hit.
Yeah.
But it's
eventually.
Knowing when it hits, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty easy to tell.
What happens?
It's usually just sometimes I'll sit down with my guitar and I'll try and write, and it'll feel like it's on the tip of my tongue and it just won't come out in a way that I am pleased with, and then I'm like, okay, I just have to set it down and maybe try again in a week, and then I try again, and it's like a little bit closer, and then when I write a song that feels really good, I can tell that it's like a song. Like
What happens?
I don't know, it's just a feeling. It's just I write the song and I'm like, this is the one, you know? Like I can't explain it. It's just
Did you know Ceilings was going to be one of the ones?
I think when I wrote it I was like, this is really cool and I like really like this song. I definitely didn't expect what has happened with the song since I wrote it. But I mean I like every song that I write when I write it. So
at what point do you start hating them?
pretty soon after that.
Do they serve as like reminders?
Yes, and that can be uncomfortable
Oh,
sometimes.
fuck yeah.
So
Especially when you're performing songs and you're focused on your 4th album when you haven't even released your 3rd.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it's hard for me, especially on tour, like playing these songs that have been out for so long at this point. Like even for my first album, over and over again, and it's like a constant reminder of like what I was writing about at that time and like what I was going through, and it's definitely hard.
Yeah, hard to move on.
Yeah.
You know, it was really interesting. When I was reading through everything today on you, I was wondering about your release cadence. And I was like, I wonder what kind of artist she's going to be. Like, are you going to be somebody who waits a long time between albums? Are you somebody who's going to just be churning them out? Like, I mean, dude, like I can make the case that like a Neil Young or like a Joni Mitchell, like they created, I mean, nobody has a fucking discography like Neil Young,
Yeah.
you know, like real storytellers that like, by the way, like all the music you make, no matter what the sonicascape is, it's built in storytelling and folk, right? Like that is a song that's amazing acoustically. Is a song that could actually go wrong if produced.
Yeah. Yes.
Like 1 ounce too much
Yeah.
could fuck a story.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like you could be an artist that just releases like, you look back at your career and you're like, oh, I've released 20 or 30 albums.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, I think the thing that has held me back from releasing this 3rd album is just the whole producer thing that's been happening. I just haven't been able to find the right people yet.
What are you looking for or listening for?
I don't know. It's just I just want someone who, I mean, I found a couple people here and there that definitely like meet my criteria of like being able to, first of all, knowing the references that I bring. Like I have a playlist of like inspiration that I bring into every session. I'm like, these artists are definitely big on my like inspiration thing for this album, and people who like know those artists and like those artists and also can, I don't know, I usually I bring a song to people and then I'm like, okay, do your thing, and then they'll send me a bounce and I'm like, yes, no, notes. So
do you give notes or is it just like...
I definitely, yes, I give a lot of notes. I'm very particular about
How do
a
you
lot
know
of
whether to
things.
give notes or just bail on somebody?
How do you just bail on someone?
It's hard.
Maybe you have to sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. It's a journey. It's a process. I don't know.
Do you want the most famous producer? Do you want somebody who's
No,
like, what are you
I
looking
want
for?
someone who understands what I want to do and the sound that I'm trying to go for and can execute that in a way that I like.
How do you describe the sound to somebody
Um,
outside of like a playlist of inspiration?
yeah, I want to go for like 70s sounding, like more acoustic, kind of band based, like Elliott Smith type of vibes. And this is my favorite artist right now is Andy Schaaf. Like no one knows who he is, but he's so incredible, and his music is like such an inspiration for the album. So it's like, it's definitely like more stripped back than 5 Seconds Flat, but it's not quite my first album. Like, I don't know, it's like indie folk, which I don't know, how would you categorize Elliott Smith?
So this is fascinating to me. Like, because somebody's sending that sort of blast out to like the producers they work with, or figuring out, like taking that criteria and be like, who the fuck could work that I know that fits in that? How, like, are you still seeing new producers? You like settled on
I'm still, I think that what's going to end up happening is I'm just going to have a bunch of different producers working on different songs, which is like how an album normally works, I feel like. But it's just so different from what I've done in the past.
Are you gonna A&R it yourself?
Probably.
Ooh. Yeah. You're unsigned, right?
At the moment.
Baller.
At the moment, maybe not for long.
That's pretty. So,
but
wait, so was 5 Seconds Flat? Like that's an unsigned album, right?
yeah, I mean, I'm with AWOL, but
Yeah. Well, you're
I'm
independent.
not with a major yet.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yet. Keyword.
Sick. So you want to be with a major?
Yes.
What? And I just ask out of curiosity, what do you think they're going to give you that you don't already have?
I think I'm at a point in my career where I want to level up, and I have a lot of big ideas all the time for every project that I make. I write pages about like what it means and how it all connects and what I want to make around it and the visuals and like things that we can do around the album, and they're getting more ambitious, and I want more help, and I want more opportunities. I just want to level up, I feel like.
Did you fund the film yourself, the 5 Seconds Flat film?
Yes, AWOL was kind of involved in that, but like basically, yeah.
I would say, I would assume those type of projects, you need a lot of people behind you to get that done.
Yes. Yes.
I look into your eyes and I see sleepless nights.
Yes. I mean, that film was like the most fun I've ever had, like doing anything. It was so creatively fulfilling, and I want to do more things like that, and I feel like now is the time. I feel like I've done as much as I can do by myself, and I really want to like go to the next level at this point. I feel like
Fuck yeah.
it's the time.
If not now, then when?
Right.
What is the next level? Like when you think of this new album, it's I guess not just an album. Like what else would you want to do with it?
I don't know. I have a lot of ideas. I just want to bring it to new audiences. I just want to open more doors and like have more things be happening. I want to like, the Grammys is like a thing on my radar, and like just things like that. I want to start like going for bigger things. And I feel like there's only so much I can do independently.
Yeah.
So,
Do the Grammys validate art?
I don't I don't know. Like not really, but it's just been on my bucket list, so I just like want to do it because
yeah.
I want to do it, like I know that my art is good and I don't need an award to validate that, but it would be cool,
What's between you and Ben Kessler? You've worked with him twice, yeah?
Yeah. We worked on a couple stuff. We have 2 songs that he released that I'm featured on, and
Got
then
it.
a song that I released that he's featured on.
Okay, so I think it's his.
Mm-hmm.
Reckless Driving fucked me up.
Thank you.
No, like
That was the goal.
I like had to go. I just kept listening to it and listening to it
Yeah.
and listening to it and listening. It was like, oh my God. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
That was a fun one to make.
Was it?
Yeah. It was very fun. I wrote the song originally as just a solo song, like no feature. And I put it on TikTok actually. And it like did pretty well, and people were like, "Oh, they were like writing their own verses to it." And I was like, "Oh, this would actually be cool if there was like another perspective involved." And then Ben wrote his verse. We wrote it together. And then the bridge was like my favorite part. To the ending, the outro part was so fun to make in the studio. We were just like coming up with the craziest ideas. It was really fun.
It really is a perfect like back and forth record that like it's really great storytelling.
Thank you.
Also makes me sick, like just even reading the lyric, like oh my God.
Read some.
No, my God, it's
do it.
like I didn't mean to kiss you. Now you can't focus on the road, like dude, because it's essentially saying, and correct me if I'm wrong. My takeaway on the story is that like one person makes like a move that in the moment they think is right, and then it opens a fucking door that they have no idea what it could be, and the love is just not the same.
Yeah, I mean, you can interpret it however you want to interpret it, but the way that what I was thinking about when I was writing it was I was just like caught in this cycle of like this relationship that I was in, and it was very clear that he loved me more than I loved him, and that had always been the case. It was just like a theme in our relationship. We both were aware of it, But sometimes it seemed like he just like wouldn't accept. He didn't want to accept it, and so that's what I wrote about.
And then does the relationship end?
Yes. Yes.
The song ruins the relationship.
Yeah.
Is
No, but like kind of.
I mean, oh God, that must be hard to hear. It's hard for me to listen to because like
Yeah.
I've been in that person's position.
Mm-hmm.
My whole life seems to be that. Honestly, it's fucked.
Yeah, I think that he's also a songwriter, and so we just would write songs about each other, and
Oh, that's
so it was just
unhealthy.
like I know, but like we would send them to each other, so I think he was used to it, and I think he kind of liked hearing songs about him. I mean, I know that I like hearing songs written about me, even if they're like not great.
You made that sort of emotional impact on them. I touched
Right,
you in
like-
that way. I've rattled inside of your brain enough to turn it in, go from your fucking brain to your hand to a pen to
Yeah, right,
paper
exactly.
to a song. Wow, that's power.
Yeah.
But is that a healthy relationship?
What, like that the relationship that I was writing about, or
I mean,
the-
writing back and forth songs about one another.
Obviously, no. That's why the relationship ended.
But also at the same time, as an artist, don't you also crave that?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun in the moment. It was I don't know. It's kind of like an ego trip to like hear songs written about you. But at a certain point, like, it gets old. I don't know.
I mean, so I ask out of curiosity all my questions. Are you being able to realize how deeply in love he was with you, and you realizing you didn't love him in the same way
Mhm.
or as deep? Does it make you want that depth of love, or at least realize it when it comes?
Yeah, definitely. I've written a lot about that. But yeah, yes.
Just not from that person.
Yeah. I think that relationship was very unhealthy.
Damn. Damn.
But it took a while for me to fully realize that and like pull away.
Yeah. I don't love you like that. That's like the worst few words I could ever
Yeah.
fucking hear. In my life. God.
Yeah.
No, one time somebody told me, I'll just share it for the room because it's kind of funny. It's not funny. It's actually really sad. It's like one of the worst things anyone's ever said to me. No, they looked me in the eyes and they're like, I'm in love with everything about you except for you physically. And I was like, wow, sick.
No.
Sick.
Oh
Sick.
my god.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sweating thinking about it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
It's pretty fucking
That's
up there, right?
horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I was in Las Vegas.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
looks aren't everything.
Well, I mean, apparently some people, they are. And what am I going to fucking do? Anyway, this is not about my sad experiences. This is about yours. Shit, that's so sad, isn't it?
That is.
Damn.
You don't want to be told that.
Yeah.
No, but I was. Damn. But yet I haven't left the person. Like, I'm still obsessed with them.
Damn.
All right, what's
Yeah.
your problem?
No, I know.
Time to move on, dude.
I'm a fucking masochist.
Oh my god.
Healthy people would be like, oh, like maybe this isn't right.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, oh, I love a challenge.
Challenge? That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sweating. Anyway, Doomsday,
Great transition.
which will be my fucking day the second this comes out and they hear it. I'm like in pain already. Like I can feel it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Anywho, do you have your funeral planned?
No, I've actually never thought about my funeral. I'm terrified of death.
But yet Doomsday comes up and you talk about dying. You pick the proper season, Death's heavy.
It's all a metaphor.
Is it?
Yes.
For the death of what?
I don't know. I just wrote that song about my first real relationship, which was in high school. And he would I think we broke up like maybe 8 or 9 times over the course of like 2 years. He was always breaking up with me. And every time I literally felt like I was dying. Like it was the first time I'd ever like been in love. So it was like all new. It was all heightened. It was high school. So everything was just like crazy. And every time he would break up with me, I just felt like I was dying. And I wrote that song about like, that's why I used the metaphor of like death, because it felt like a death.
So in that moment, do you like you emotionally want to transport yourself back to it, or what happens in your life where you think of him?
I don't know. It's weird because that relationship never like had really an ending. I mean, it had an ending, obviously.
Had 9 of them.
Right.
But like
But,
9 lives, that cat is still alive. There's faith. Track him down.
Yeah, no. After that relationship ended, we never talked about it. He just completely ghosted me.
Damn.
Like we never discussed why we broke up, anything about it. So it has always felt like a little bit unresolved.
Ooh.
And that's not a great feeling. I mean, obviously I
Do
don't.
you still feel that way?
Unresolved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
Send
not.
send this
it's not
motherfucker
like
a message.
No, it's not like I don't think about it every day, but I think about it like when I write sometimes, because when I write, I think back on things to write about, because right now, like in my dating life, like everything's going pretty good, so I don't really have anything to write about except for like healing and growing, and that's kind of, I don't know, I don't write about that all the time because it's hard, but I look back a lot on my old relationships when I write now, and like I think about that like when I write, definitely.
Do you learn any shit when you look back?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm always reflecting and always trying to learn from like what has happened in the past and try and like grow from it.
Yeah, history repeats itself.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
But the only way to like look, to call it out or to be
Mhm.
aware is by like looking back at the past, right?
Yeah.
And reflecting.
Which is why I love songwriting so much, because that's when I really do that the most.
But is it weird looking back and writing about your past when you're in a new happy relationship?
I don't do it that much anymore, but probably not. I mean, I've tried like a couple times, and it's just like it's harder because I don't feel connected to those emotions anymore. It's easy for me to like I don't know. It's weird. It's definitely like weird and complex, but I definitely I'm not as connected to the feelings that I was feeling when I was in that relationship. So the songs are like not as good as the ones that I wrote when I was actually like in that relationship. Yeah. I don't know. It's definitely weird.
Do you feel like you're a serial dater?
What do you mean?
Do you date a lot?
No. No.
You
I
sure?
mean, I'm in my first real relationship right now since like 2 years ago.
Okay, sick.
So
Well, that's like healthy.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
this the guy
obviously, I like
Sorry, you go. So this
in
the
my
guy
music video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, like in those 2 years, I was like casually dating people, but like nothing was real. Yeah. It's been 2 years. So.
That's like, I mean, that's growth.
Yeah. Yes.
Like
I
2
think
years,
so.
like you change, like you change as a person in a much shorter amount of time.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, I almost so last summer, I was at Zebulon, a bar in LA, and I was with my friend, and I saw my now current boyfriend at Zebulon, and my friend knew him, and she was like, I don't want to, like, let's not talk to him. She had a crush on him at the time, and she was like, I'm not drunk enough, like, we can't talk to him. And I was like, okay. So we never talked, and then a week later he liked me on Hinge.
Oh.
And I was like, I can't, because my friend has a crush on him, like I can't do that. That crush is since long gone. But the fact that we could have met a year ago and we didn't, I think like I would not have been ready. Like I was definitely not in a place to like actually be in a healthy relationship a year ago. And it's just so crazy that we had so many opportunities to meet. We have so many mutual friends, and we didn't meet until like very recently.
Do you see that as like the universe?
Yeah, definitely.
Doing what's right.
Yeah, I mean, I was just not ready last summer. Like I was not at a point in my growth where I would have been able to like, I don't know, a lot of things are coming up as I'm in this new relationship, and I'm like having to deal with a lot of old things that like I didn't think were still there but are getting triggered. And I just don't think I would have been able to deal with that a year ago. Like, I think it would have been not good.
That's it's a hard thing to admit, but also like really special at the same time.
Yeah.
Because then it makes you aware. But like even when you're aware, whatever those triggers may be, and whatever they end up triggering, or on both sides of it, right? Whatever they can do to trigger it, whatever you do in response. Even have you found that like you're aware only after the fact as opposed to ahead of it? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times I'm aware in the moment of what's going on, but I can't find the words to express it until after, when I like actually take a moment and think about like what happened.
Do you feel pressure to respond in the moment? Or
I
obligated?
feel like I always need to have my feelings figured out. I love to think about my feelings. I love to overanalyze. I love to know what's going on in my brain. So like I put pressure on myself to know how I feel in the moment, which is just not realistic all the time. Yeah, I'm talking about that in therapy.
Like I understand that though. Like because there's moments I'm clearly in a very unhealthy situationship.
Go again.
But like there's moments where like I feel obligated to respond in the moment or just do it without even thinking. And I'm like, after I respond, I'm like, oh fuck, like this is where all of that went wrong.
Yeah.
And taking like more than a moment, a beat or two to fucking collect yourself and process.
Yeah. It's definitely something that
Healthy.
I've had to like learn how to do actually. And like not just, I don't know, not it's definitely hard. I mean, all of this is hard. I knew that before I got into this relationship, I knew I was like, the next time I'm in a real relationship, like there's going to be a lot of shit that I'm going to have to deal with. It's all going to come up and I'm going to have to deal with it. And I was fucking right. Like I was so right. And it's definitely a journey and a process, but I'm very grateful that I have a partner who is like willing to listen and hold space and like be there while I figure things out. It's like the most amazing thing I've ever experienced ever.
It's really special.
Yeah, it's really nice and something that I really haven't ever experienced. So,
well, allowing you, by the way, like leaving space for those moments to be worked through allows growth on both sides. And ultimately, like that will bring out the best in each one of you. And that's what makes a great relationship.
Yeah.
And it's not all about physical attraction.
No, it's not.
Keep telling yourself that.
Well, yeah. tell myself that. I walk like 18 miles a day. I'm the only fucking asshole in LA walking in the rain. Okay? Just trying to. In my sweat. I'm literally wearing like a sweatsuit so I can sweat profusely.
Oh my God.
I'm just working on myself physically. It's not working.
Well, how long into this relationship did you decide this guy's going to be the star of my music video with me?
Not that long. We haven't been dating for that long.
Oh, damn.
It's
is he
just
an actor?
Like, no. He works in like, he works as an A&R.
Oh, sick.
Like he's like not. I was like, I need to not date like a musician again. Like I need to stray from that.
He's a right in between. That's
yeah,
cool.
it feels good.
Is he hot? What is he?
I think so.
Again, it's not all about physical attraction.
Oh my God.
Here they are kissing in the rain, speaking of the rain. Look at that. Hello.
Damn.
Hello.
God. Wow. Okay. I'm sweating. Pancakes for dinner. Good record.
Nice transition.
That's what I'm known for around these parts.
Do you like that song or do we hate that song?
I hate that song.
Okay. I won't talk about
No,
it.
we can talk about it.
Why the fuck do you hate it? Why am I cursing so much today? I'm definitely stressed. I'm so sorry. Person in the corner. I feel like my my language is
person in the corner.
offensive. I blanked on your name. It's emotionally a lot in this conversation. So why do we hate pancakes for dinner?
I just think that like era of my songwriting, like my first album, just doesn't like connect with me anymore. And I also just think it's cheesy. Like I just think it's a cheesy song. And I just like, I totally understand that song is special for a lot of people and like different, like once I release a song, it's not really mine anymore. It's like for my fans. And I recognize that like people have very special memories with that song and like it means a lot to people. But like personally, I just don't love it anymore. I just think it's not my best songwriting.
What is?
this stuff that's not out yet. But I think that that's always how it goes. I think that when I first release an album, I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever written. And then I start writing more and I'm like, actually, this is.
Is there a song that was before the current project you're working on that was you considered your best at the time?
I really like the song on 5 Seconds Fall called Nobody Likes a Secret. I think that probably is my favorite song of mine that's like out currently. I think that's the best songwriting wise.
What about it?
I don't know. It just felt like it was the last song I wrote for the album, so it feels more new-ish. It feels like more in the vein of what I'm writing now and what I'm working on now. But I also just like the imagery and just, I don't know. It's like brutally honest, and I like that.
Scary to be brutally honest?
Yes. In that song particularly, but in general, like, yeah, I think I've gotten used to it at this point. So if I don't think about it too much, it's like not that hard anymore. But if I like sit and actually think about like a lot of people are going to hear these words, then it gets like very scary. But I try not to think about it, because if I do all the time, it would be too much for me. I'd never release music ever again.
Who are you speaking to in that record?
And 5 Seconds Flat as a whole.
No, that
Nobody likes a secret. My ex.
Did they cheat on you?
Kind of.
Kind of.
I don't know. He was like on Hinge when we were together.
Oh yeah, he's cheating on you.
I don't know. I mean, I don't
Or
think
like
he ever,
looking
like,
for
hooked
like
up with someone,
or,
but
or like looking for like weird validation.
yeah, I think so.
And now you see actions that trigger your thoughts.
Yeah, and I found out like after we had broken up, which
Really?
kind of sucked. Yeah.
Why'd you break up to begin with?
Initially, it was like I ignored so many red flags, which I also wrote another song about on the album called Firearm.
It's really good.
Thank you. I just ignored so many things that should have been like immediate red flags.
Story of my life. Let's talk about it.
I think I was just like I just wanted to believe that like he was the one, you know? I was like, I had this idea of like a relationship in my head, and I really wanted one, but I didn't like want to admit that he was probably not the one that I should be having a relationship with. So I just ignored a lot of things. And then we broke up. I think we were doing long distance for like a while. And at a certain point he was like, this is too hard. I was like, what? And then after we broke, like a week after, I was like, that was probably a good thing.
Damn.
But
how'd you know it was a good thing?
Was like, I was just looking back, reflecting, and I was just realizing like all of the red flags that I had ignored. I was like, oh my God, like how did I look past that and think that like that was an okay thing to be doing?
Like what?
I don't know. I don't want to expose him.
Whoa.
It's okay.
No, I don't. It's okay. It's
Just because you're exposing yourself doesn't mean she has
this whole conversation has been incredibly revealing for me.
I'm gonna keep it vague. There were just a lot of things that I just ignored, and I wish I hadn't. But I was just wanted to believe that it was perfect, and also it was like we were kind of at the time like on similar levels, like career wise. We were doing the same thing.
Oh.
And I just liked it because it was like the first time that I dated someone like that, who was like on like the level of things that I was doing career wise, and it was cool. And I think that I just wanted it to work because I was like, this is cool.
God, I get it.
Yeah.
You're blind to it.
Yep.
Until it punches you in the face.
Yes. Yep. That's how it goes.
I feel that. Hate to be lame. I love that record.
Thank you. Me too.
Really fucking good.
Thank you.
I mean, I didn't know that was like, for some reason I thought that came out way before the album. But it was on the album.
It was on the album.
Why do I feel like I saw you do that at the Troubadour and Coachella?
Because I did.
Sick.
Before it came out. I also did it at
Oh.
Finn's show
Yes.
at Irving Plaza, like way before it came out.
I have no perception of time.
Yeah, me neither, honestly.
I've existed for the last 16 years in the public consciousness in some way, shape, or form, and I just like I've lost all track of anything.
Yeah.
So like, when did what did that come out? Like
Yeah, it
the
came out.
summer?
It came out with the. Was it a single?
I thought it was a
remember.
single.
I think it was a single. Where's my phone?
Were you gonna Google it?
Let me look up the
This
release
came
date.
out-
Hold on, we can do that for
This
you.
came out
Jesus.
April 5th, 2022.
April 5th. Okay, yeah, that was like a couple days before the album.
That's hashtag Coachella, baby.
Yes.
Damn, great record. Would you work with him again?
Yeah, of course. It was so great. I literally I had written the song. I sent the song to him. He wrote his verse. He sent it back. It was like perfect. We used the first take he sent us. I was like, this is amazing. The lyrics that he wrote were just so good.
What more can you ask for?
I know. It was just so good.
It's really fucking.
I
It's like
know.
one of my favorite fucking songs.
Thank you. And the fact that he's like asked me to perform it with him so many times, I just feel so like grateful and appreciative of that.
I'm pretty sure he told me to have you on the show at one point.
Here I am.
Oh, look at this.
Thanks, Phineas.
Look at this. It's so good. Yeah, and I've seen you a bunch with him. It's really
Yeah.
love. Like it's very special song.
Yeah, thank you.
Erase Me.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, I think.
Why?
It's just so different, and I'm pretty sure it was the second single that came out, and like the first one was Doomsday, which was like kind of more what people were expecting after my first album, and then Erase Me was kind of like came out of left field a little bit because of the production. It's more like alternative, more like electric sounding. I don't know. I just love it so much. It's so different, but it's so fun.
Are you? A lot of the production on these records are really unique.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't you going back to any of the producers that you worked with on this album to carry with you into the next?
It is complicated, but I just feel like it's time for me to try something new. I love what we have made together, and I think that we have worked really well together up until now. And I just think that for me, it just feels like the time for me to start branching out and like try something new. It feels like the right point in my career to try new things. And I wanna like meet more people and work with more producers and like just try new things.
Like you deserve to be challenged in the right ways,
Yeah.
and clearly the confidence is there to like. I mean, you can give notes that are proper.
Yeah.
Like even when I hear you talk and I think about all these songs I just mentioned, the production is really unique, and you do beg to wonder like where's each part of that uniqueness actually coming from, you know? And like, I don't know. I'm excited to hear your next project.
There's some of the best songs I've ever written, I think.
Are you surprised by Ceilings?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, very much so.
Have you like tried to figure out or understand why it's working the way it is?
I mean, I think it makes sense. I think that, I don't know. I was watching it basically blow up on TikTok and people relating to like the idea of kind of being a little delusional and imagining, you know, a scenario with someone that's like not actually real or like,
My whole life.
Well, I feel like it's a pretty universal feeling of like you're just starting to date someone and you're like imagining your whole life together, or like you see a stranger on the street and you're like, oh, like he could be the one, you know? Like I feel like it happens to all of us in some form. So I think that it makes a lot of sense to me why people are relating to it, because it's a very universal feeling.
Yeah.
Especially that line where the song transitions and you say like it's not real and he doesn't exist or something. Yeah,
I love a plot twist, I guess.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
My fucking life, dude.
Yeah.
Like honestly, all these songs are just different, just different peeks into my heinous, horrendous relationship existence. Or non-existent, to be honest. Just pure fucking delusion and imagination. Dan was saying that like he doesn't believe. Are you gonna get mad at me for saying this?
You can say what you want. I had another question about. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
I just want to know what it's like scrolling on TikTok and hearing your voice in like a chipmunk voice because it's pretty fucking annoying.
It's weird.
Not yours, like all the
No,
all the
I know.
sped up versions. I'm like, why are
I
these
don't
the
love a
ones?
sped up version.
Neither
I
do
love that it's like helping my song do well. Like that's cool to me, but I don't love like I don't know. It's weird because then people are like, release the sped up version, and I'm like,
Ew.
why? Like who wants to listen to that? Like
Not me.
like what? I just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, just listen to the real song. Like
I mean, I guess it is translating. The song keeps climbing up the charts.
yeah,
Shout out TikTok.
crazy. I know. Shout out, I guess. I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok.
Dan was very adamant though and
Okay.
passionate that like you had better songs than Ceiling.
Oh no, you do.
I think so, yeah.
Absolutely. My favorite two, now that you ask, thanks, are Orange Show Speedway
I love that one.
and All My Ghosts.
I love All My Ghosts.
Those are my two
so
favorite.
much, yeah. Those are good ones.
Thanks.
Good taste.
I even Googled where Orange Show Speedway was, and it's in San
It's in
Bernardino.
San Bernardino, yeah.
What does that mean to you?
Well, last summer I went to like an EDM festival there.
Oh shit, you do well
No, I went to support my friend who was playing, who like was singing at it,
sick.
and that festival like completely reminded me of the first time that like my high school boyfriend and I like actually hung out. It was like at a music festival, and everyone at that EDM festival looked exactly like my ex. He was tall, white, blonde boys. But I was like, this is the type of music he listens to. I was like, it was crazy. It was like a little bit of deja vu, even though I've literally never been there.
Honestly, just hearing that makes me nauseous. Like if I walked into a
Yeah.
festival where I just thought I kept seeing my ex, I would again ex that I made up in my
Literally.
head.
No,
I would go crazy.
it was pretty crazy. But I was there with like my best friends, and it felt like I was in a different place, and so that's why I put it as the last song on the album, because the first song is Doomsday, about like the ending of that relationship and like really being in it, and then the last song is also about the same person, but it's like I'm a little bit removed from it and I can have a different perspective, but it's still like affecting me a little bit in some way. Those are the only two songs about him on the record.
Starts
First
and
and the last one.
starts and finishes the album.
That's really interesting. Mainly because the title stands out.
Yeah. And I also love that the title is in the last two lines of the song, of the album.
Oh.
Like you don't hear it before the end, the last song. Last two lines of the song.
Boom. Look at you.
It's kind of cool.
I like that.
You know, speaking of Doomsday, we have a friend that crashed his car to it.
Oh, love that.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Who?
my
Max. He was listening to it and he crashed
Oh
his car
my
to
God!
it.
He wanted us to tell
He
you.
wanted us to tell you.
Yes. He
I'm so
crashed his
sorry.
car to your
Oh,
song.
no.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
He's all right.
Well, he
Okay,
Car's
technically,
not.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
gosh.
no. And he got hit. Like somebody hit him. He
Oh,
wasn't the
no.
perpetrator. Yeah. You know,
Jeez.
yeah, that's a dark. Sorry. You know, sometimes from time to time, I used to think like how many people got into car accidents while they were listening to us on the radio, because we used to do like we used to be on like I don't know, I don't want to brag, but we were like on like 80 like different pop radio stations all over North America.
Don't want to brag, but now we're not.
Yeah. But it's okay. We have a really nice green room. You saw it, right? You saw it. You saw the green room. It was fucking
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
Our green room's really nice. Our green room is awesome. No, but I always used to wonder, like, fuck, like, I wonder if anybody got into a car accident today while listening, because there was like 2 million people a night. So like,
Yeah.
chances are, like, I hate to be that guy. Like,
Right.
math is
Right.
that there's been accidents, and there's been moments where like there was one moment in Memphis where there was a police chase, and I heard us on the radio while they were like filming or doing some fucking news piece, and like it was definitely about people getting shot. So like we were definitely like the backtrack to something
That's crazy.
grim.
Wow.
But yeah, I do wonder that. So
I've seen a lot of people who like crash listening to reckless driving.
oh,
Makes sense.
They're all okay, I think.
You haven't
But
heard from
that's
the ones that aren't,
crazy.
'cause they're dead.
Oh my
oh
god.
shit, Daniel. What
I
the
hope
fuck
that's
is
not
that?
true. Jesus.
Retract that. Retract that. Don't you put that energy out,
Sorry, it just fit perfectly.
dude. If
I just see a lot of people like posting like just crashed my car to reckless driving.
that song gives me goosebumps because
Don't reckless drive.
No. But do you think it's the song inspiring reckless driving, or the fact that the lyrics can be so poignant to somebody's life that it just
That's probably
turns
it.
their body into this
Right.
anxiety attack?
That's probably it.
I listened to it 4 times, could not feel my arms. So definitely a fucking anxiety
Damn.
attack.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh God, thinking about that's rough. Anyway, you should listen to all of Lizzy McAlpine's music. It's all available on Amazon Music. There's going to be a link in the description below. You're also on tour.
I am about to be, yeah.
It's coming.
It's sold out. You're
It
going
is
to have to hook
sold
me up
out,
with some
yeah.
tickets,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I didn't get any.
The second this ends, she's going to be like, Dan who?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fucked
No,
up.
no, no. We got you. We got you.
Is the whole thing sold out? Like,
Yes.
is it? Oh, so
I think, yeah.
what are you going to scale up
Yes.
rooms maybe?
Uh,
Oh, you are? As of, yes.
Yeah, hell yeah, we are. We're
Oh.
scaling up.
no,
No.
we're not scaling rooms. It's all sold out as
Oh.
of today.
Oh, as of
I
today.
think
it's- got it.
North America sold out like really fast, but Europe was kind of slower.
Well, you know.
Do you expect to
they're
sell out
catching on.
like these days?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
What venues are you doing? I
We're
should know
playing
this.
2 nights at the Wiltern
Oh,
in
wow.
LA.
Fuck yeah.
So
Oh, you got to be able to
that's
find me.
nice.
You got to be able to find us some ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Again, cameras
I have
roll.
guest list.
Zach fucking who? Sorry, like no tickets left for you. Doing 2 nights at the Wiltern, have no guest spots for you.
You
Jesus,
are
I get
currently
it.
supposed to be on tour with John Mayer.
Yes.
What? That's the bummer that you're not.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll get to those arenas soon. I'll be
Like-
playing Madison Square Garden in due time.
That's it. Like 3 months.
I like that
Yeah,
thought
probably.
process.
No, fuck yeah. And that's the right way to look at it. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you believe in manifestation?
Yes, definitely.
Do you apply it in your life?
I try to. Sometimes it's easy to get into a pattern of negative thinking about yourself, but I try to put positive energy into the world and speak things into existence.
Do you believe? What's your take on luck? Like, is luck needed to be where you're at today, or is it solely hard work and
I think it's
talent?
probably both, but I have worked really hard to be here, so I think it's like majority hard work and like maybe a little bit of like being in the right place at the right time, or like I don't know, meeting the right people at the right time, but I think most of it has to do with like the work that I've put in to this.
You're also really good.
Thank you.
How do you define success?
I think just like seeing my songs connect with people on a widespread scale. I think that if people can relate to my songs and if it makes them feel like they're not going through that alone, then like that is all I can really ask for. I mean, I'm going to write because I have feelings and I like to talk about them. And I really just want people to be able to connect to those songs.
Would you be writing and making music even if nobody listened?
Yeah. I mean, I was doing that for a long time. I started writing in like when I was 12.
Do you
So
remember the
no one
first
was
song you
listening.
wrote?
Yes. I don't remember how it goes, but I remember it was called Stuck in the Moment.
Oh,
Really original title.
interesting.
Yeah.
Overthinking about? Like, what was that about?
It was about this guy that I had a crush on in was it 6th grade, middle school? Yeah,
Hmm.
in middle school. That had no idea I existed.
Mm.
He probably knows now.
I don't know. Maybe. At this point, I'm over it.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Did you share it with him? No, he didn't know you existed. So you just
He
wrote it for
never
you.
knew yeah, I was. No one was listening to my songs at 12 years old.
Yeah.
Like I was just writing because I liked it. It was fun to create.
And now you can listen to all of this human being's music
Yes, you can.
on Amazon Music and wherever else you stream. But there's going to be a link in the description below to get right to Amazon Music. I'd say there's a link to tour tickets, but joke's on you if you think you're going to fucking get one. Not going to happen. So sorry. But please come back for all your future, like
I will.
future albums or
Yeah,
whatever.
of course.
Are you? I know you have more thoughts.
I'm just gonna run them down quickly.
Yeah.
Jesus, you don't need to do that.
No,
Yeah.
I absolutely
Go
do.
for it.
If you knew Ceilings would be this popular, would you have given it more than 4 seconds in the film?
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay.
It didn't really have a place in the film,
All right.
and I didn't want to like create something, a place for it in the film just because like it's popular or like gonna be popular. I don't know. I want to stick to my creative vision, and that wasn't involved in it. So no.
No, but doesn't that say something though? When you just stick to like, I don't know, like great music is going to rise to the top no matter what, and it's going to find an audience regardless.
Mm.
But like it shouldn't infringe on what you want to do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because you're still putting that song out, and it still has the ability to touch ears and get out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I never want to like make a decision based on like any external factor, like anything that like someone's telling me to do, or like just because it's doing well, I do this, or like I want to make decisions, especially creative decisions, based on like what I actually want and see for my art.
So do you make music for you? Up until what point does it become everybody else's?
I think after it's released, it becomes not mine anymore. I do as much as I can to it, and I try to make it the best that it is, and then I put it out, and then it's for everyone else.
But no filter fueled by the public is put on that before.
No. No. I don't want to release anything that I don't want to release.
Hell yeah.
So.
Your next question?
Okay.
Jesus.
Is it hard for you not to leak anything from this next album? Because you used to leak a lot of things, or just go and.
I definitely have.
Oh, you
like,
have.
Definitely put snippets of stuff, like right when I first wrote the song, from this next album. I definitely have put some stuff online. It's definitely not like this is on my third album. It's like you gotta find it a little, do a little digging.
Well, scavenger hunt.
But I'm trying not to do that as much because I wanted to kind of be a surprise. Like no one actually knows what's gonna be on the album. That seems fun to me. Might try it.
And my last question
But are you
is-
afraid
Oh,
to
okay, never mind.
deviate because it worked the last time?
No. I mean, a little bit, maybe. But I think that, like, my core fans are going to listen, like, even if they haven't heard a snippet of the song. Like, I don't think that them not hearing the song at all before listening is going to deter them from listening to it. I think it's going to make them want to listen to it more.
Got it. Because there is something to like, it's all working so perfectly. So why deviate
Yeah.
too much?
You gotta
give
switch
a
it
fuck.
up sometimes.
That's it. Keep you on your toes.
Yeah. Change is good.
God, making me nauseous. You're right. Like you're right, but it still sucks. Change sucks.
Yes, definitely.
Damn.
It's hard.
Okay, Dan, you can
All
go.
right, here's my last question.
Sorry,
Then
I'm just
you-
I'm doing my job. I'm asking
Yeah, yeah.
follow-ups to your outstanding questions.
No, this is really.
This is
going
what to
well.
remind you
Yeah.
after 11 years. This is what we do.
No, it's great chemistry between the three of us, working out well.
It's really
My last
sandpaper.
question, then you can finally leave.
Okay.
Is
She's
when,
like,
Thank God.
Thanks, fucking God. When it comes to writing songs, is it easy to fit things like mac and cheese and 7-Eleven in the lyrics and have it not sound corny?
I don't know. You tell me. Does it
Well,
sound
no, it
corny?
sounds good, but I feel like if somebody else sang about 7-Eleven and mac and cheese, I'd be like, that's. But you nailed it. Like you do
Yeah,
a good job.
I think I don't know. I'm not like thinking about that. If I write it and it sounds corny when I write it, I'll delete it. Like I won't put it in the song. But it sounded cool to me when I wrote it, and it's probably a little bit corny, but it's kind of fun. And those are always the lines at my shows that people scream the loudest.
Hell yeah.
So it's like,
Because they're
Why
highly
not?
detailed and everybody
Yeah.
understands them. And sister walks the walk. She eats macaroni and cheese and goes to 7-Eleven. I'm assuming, right?
what?
You do those things? You go to
Yeah,
7-Eleven, eat
yeah. I
macaroni
did
and
all
cheese?
those things with my ex.
Okay, got it. Yeah,
What
not
are you talking
anymore.
about?
We don't eat macaroni and cheese anymore. And every time you look at 7-Eleven, you vomit.
Yeah.
So she can't go in. Way to poke at a sore subject.
She's singing about it. I'm just asking.
yeah.
Anything else?
No, I'll stop there.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
He's really a big fan of yours, if you can't tell.
I appreciate that.
I told her before she was coming in because I don't want to be that guy. I don't get many guests from the lobby. Usually, somebody else does
Yeah.
it, but I did it.
I hate the walk from the lobby to the studio. My least. It's the most uncomfortable walk in the world.
It's actually the job here that nobody wants to do. No
funny.
offense if you're a future guest. Nobody wants to fucking come and get you from the lobby.
It's so
Everybody dreads the
That's so
small talk,
funny.
but I don't. I really like it for the most part, but I don't necessarily like it because it could encroach or infringe on this. But yeah, so now you know. I don't think it's going to be like that forever. We're going to do something to spice it up, but like where it makes it a little bit more fun to go get people.
Like a moving elevator.
I got
Oh.
ideas. Maybe like
Cool.
segways, hoverboards, or like one of those little golf carts that you see in the airport.
Yes, definitely.
I got ideas. No, I'll come up with something good. Anyway,
All right, you can leave now. I'm just kidding.
Bye.
so the door's right there. Please listen to all of Lizzy McAlpine's music. 5 Seconds Flat. That is the most recent album. Reckless Driving fucks me up so hard. Listen to it. But it's hard to listen to. But also, like, I want to go listen to it again right now.
Yeah.
It's like good torture.
Right.
It's like I like to be reminded of my sad, hurt reality.
Wow.
Anyway, you got to go. Lizzy McAlpine, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yay.
Thanks for putting up with us.
Thanks for having me.